Um, what I want to do tonight is, I guess I wanted to introduce myself. That's what I was doing. This channel is specifically about ascending to the fourth dimension, ascending to fifth dimensional consciousness. Also, for those that are interested and deep into it, I can show you how to ascend to sixth dimensional consciousness. Seventh dimensional. Seventh dimensional isn't something you would do by yourself. It would be something that humanity would decide to do together because it's a different way of life. But fourth and fifth dimensional ascension is certainly available to us, and that's really what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to do a fourth dimensional meditation, a fifth dimensional meditation. One of the keys to the fourth dimension is to use the platform of higher consciousness in the fourth dimension to project back down into three-dimensional consciousness. So you raise yourself to fourth dimensional awareness, and then you use that perspective, that insight, that understanding to project down into three-dimensional. And what you're doing is you're bringing your own life into balance. See, all of us want to be balanced, right? We're in the third dimension. Life is coming at us. We feel out of balance. We feel maybe unhealthy. We feel stressed. We feel emotional, whatever it is we feel because life is coming at us. In the fourth dimension, all of that stress goes away because you're at a different dimension. And you can actually project your balanced approach to life back down into the third dimension. So the goal of the fourth dimension is to work to bring your third dimensional life into balance. And of course, we all want to be balanced, less stress, less anger, less emotion, just feel more balanced in all areas of our life. And why do you want to do that? Well, you need to bring your life into balance because the only way you can experience the fifth dimension is if your life is in balance. If your life is crazy and out of balance and emotional and you're texting all these angry texts on TikTok, I hate the world, I hate politics, I hate these people. When you're out of balance and maybe you're a parent, your whole house is out of balance, or maybe you're at work and your whole career is out of balance. When you're out of balance, there's no fifth dimensional experience. The first step in fifth dimensional experience is balance. We're going to do a fifth dimensional meditation later tonight. Let me also, I just want to also hey, is the sound okay? Can you hear my voice okay? Because I have a different setup with the microphone. Is it too loud, not loud enough? Anybody? Is it okay? Good, thank you for that. Okay, perfect, so that you can hear me, all right. One of the things about when we study fourth and fifth dimensional ascension, and I also want to say too, let me also say a little bit about aliens, let me say a little bit about enlightenment. I've been studying enlightenment for 20, 30 years, really my whole life. And I've read many ancient books. I've listened to many modern speakers. I've gone way back and tried to understand texts and teachers from hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago. So enlightenment to me was always a little bit flat. We're trying to leave this world. We're trying to not be reborn again. We don't want to reincarnate again. The goal is to empty yourself, separate yourself and just, go up in a mountain, go live in a monastery for 25 years. Just, live your life separate, quiet, balanced, empty, right? It always felt empty to me. About 6 months ago, like many of you, I got into the alien track, and that got into my head. And I've always believed in aliens. I've studied Egypt and Sumeria. I'm 100% positive that there were interdimensional beings who helped the Sumerian civilization and the Egyptian civilization. 100% positive of that, at least in my own beliefs. So I've always thought it was flat, but when I heard from the aliens, or from the story of the aliens, and I replaced the word enlightenment with the word ascension, it's like, boop, everything popped into three dimensions for me. Instead of being a flat, boring study about emptying yourself and quieting your mind and trying to do nothing, going on a vow of silence for 20 years, the idea of ascension became very clear to me. And once we understand that what we're trying to do is not become enlightened, we're actually trying to ascend to higher ways of being, higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of understanding. And once you understand that's the task, ascension, well, now we can actually ascend. We can actually go to the fourth dimension. We can go to the fifth dimension. If you want, you can go to the sixth dimension. I don't think most people wouldn't want to go to the seventh dimension, but you can experience the seventh dimension. You just wouldn't have any interest in staying there. By the way, I'm just starting, so if you hit the share button down at the bottom, that little arrow, this would be a great time to hit the arrow. If I can get maybe 8 or 10 people to hit that arrow, maybe we'll get that number. I've got 2 people have shared. If we can get that number over 10, thank you so much for the likes. Keep the momentum going. You guys are awesome. I really feel the energy and I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. So as we study fourth dimensional and fifth dimensional ascension, I want you to understand that anybody can ascend to these levels of understanding. Anybody can ascend to higher levels of being. Anybody can. There's no restrictions. There's no limitations. The fourth dimension is nothing more than a mindset shift. I think it's 8:06, probably at about maybe 8:20 or 8:30. I'm going to start a 4D, 5D meditation. We'll do the whole thing. I just want to give some folks that I know want to be here, maybe they already are here. We'll just wait another 10 or 20 minutes to do that. But fourth dimensional ascension is just a mindset shift. And when you go through this meditation, you'll say, oh, yeah, the fourth dimension. Like it's infinite. It's everything. It's, just like in those near-death experiences, when they rise from their body, they look down, they're in their ethereal body or their astral body, they're looking down at their three-dimensional body, and then they go through a tunnel. And when they pop out of the tunnel, that's the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is infinite in all directions, 360 degrees all around you. It's a beautiful experience. And you can then ascend from there. There are 2 things you'll want to do in the fourth dimension. Number 1, as I said earlier, you want to project your consciousness back into 3 dimensions to make that life more balanced. You want to create a more balanced 3-dimensional life. And the second thing you can do is you can then start to look up toward 5th dimensional experience from the 4th dimension. So most of us are trapped in the 3rd dimension. Let me explain the difference between the 3rd dimension and the 4th dimension. Let's start with the 4th dimension. In the 4th dimension, imagine that you're above time and you can actually look down on your life and you can go back to the beginning of your life and you see all of the elements of your life, the people, the experiences, the school, the culture, the country you're from, everything, every failure, success, it's all in there. Zillions of experiences that have woven together. This is your life stream. They've woven together like a cable. And now you're in the present moment. So in the 4th dimension, being above time, you can plant seeds in your present moment that will shift the direction of your life stream. So that's one of the things you could do with the 4th dimension. But also, in the 4th dimension, you see that you're at the now moment. In the 3rd dimension, if you're following me, you're inside the cable. So now, the world is just coming at you constantly. Oh, everything's out of balance. Always just an endless flow of. That's the 3rd dimension. You're inside the life stream. You're in the cable, and the now moment is forever coming at you. And what you notice about 3rd dimension is it's out of balance. It's always changing. The material world is vibrational. It's not stable. It's not solid. It's not consistent over a long period. It's always changing. The 3rd dimension is like the analogy is like a kaleidoscope. You spin it around and you say, oh, I really like this design. Oh, I like the way my life is now. Well, don't get used to it because it's changing. It's always changing. Everything's always changing. And so in the 3rd dimension, it's very difficult to bring your life into balance, although that's what we're all trying to do. But you're balancing against things that are out of balance, systems that are out of balance, families that you're trying to fit into a family structure that's out of balance, fit into a work environment that's out of balance, fit into a social system that's out of balance, fit into a political system that's out of balance. Everything's out of balance. So when you try to balance in the 3rd dimension, you can't because you're trying to connect with something that's also out of balance. In the 4th dimension has no frictional relationship to the 3rd dimension. They're totally separate planes of understanding. In the 4th dimension, this is where you can start to see how time operates. Time doesn't come at you like this. When you look at it from above, time, the universe, mind, operates in longer rhythms and cycles. And so in the fourth dimension, you can start to plant seeds and start to use the power of time to grow those things over time. In the third dimension, we just expect everything to work right away. We've gotten used to everything working right away. So if something doesn't work right away, like, that you just swipe, go on to the next one. If you don't like it in 2 seconds, you swipe to the next one. We're on TikTok. Why not? If I don't like what I see in less than a second, I swipe, swipe, swipe. Okay, I'll listen to this guy. 3 seconds, I'm done. If something doesn't work right away, you just move on to the next thing. So it's impossible to be balanced. So we're going to use the fourth dimension as a platform to not just find balance in our life, but create balance in our lives. And fourth dimension is the dimension of manifestation, but there is one rule. You have all the power in the universe at your command. In the fourth dimension, only one rule. You can only change yourself. You can use all the powers of your being, of light, of source, energy, but you can only direct it to change yourself. If I try to change my wife or my kids, or I try to change you, or I try to change anything, that power doesn't really work. That's a whole different story of manifestation. That's called group manifestation. So what we can do in the fourth dimension is use the full power of source to change ourselves. And what do I mean change ourselves? Number one, and most important, make yourself healthier. I talk about 5 different elements of health. Deep breathing, adjust your posture, straighten out your spine so you can get that nerve energy flow, light flow through your chakra system. The third one is energy cultivation throughout your body. The fourth element of health is changing your relationship with food, because believe it or not, it is food that when you overeat, it draws all that psychic energy, all that energy you have into your digestive system. When you eat less, you free that energy to go out through the rest of your body. Makes you very healthy. And the fifth one is walking, or some sort of daily exercise. Get out in the sun and exercise. Move your hips, move your joints. There was some a comment. Okay. So Star, you're not really talking, you're just talking while I'm talking. You're not talking about what I'm talking about. You're just doing your own thing here. That's fine. All right. All right. So, all right, let's do it. It's almost 8:15. I've given everybody 15. Those who want to join, click the link in my profile and join our Discord group. This is where we hold each other accountable. We describe our morning routine, evening routine. This morning I posted, hey, I did my morning routine. I'll talk a little bit about morning routine later on tonight, but if you're interested in connecting with the group and being part of a fifth dimensional collective, or at least a fourth dimensional, trying to be a fifth dimensional collective, click the link in my bio and join that Discord group. All right, let's do this. All right, we are now going to do, thank you so much for the likes, the gifts, the follows. I just wanted to tell you I actually appreciate that energy. I feel it, and I don't want to just talk over it. I want to make sure you know that I feel it, and I thank you for it. Appreciate it. We're going to do maybe a 7 to 10 minute meditation. So these are tough to do on TikTok because people are constantly coming in and out. So the people here 2 minutes from now are not going to know what we're talking about. But I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are here. All right. So if you can, I want you to close your eyes. What we're going to do is we're going to rise to fourth dimensional understanding. I'm going to explain a couple of highlights in the fourth dimension, like a tour guide. I'll point out some things that you need to know about the fourth dimension. And then what we'll do is we will then do continue that meditation. So a meditation, some talking, and then another meditation to take us to fifth dimensional experience so that you can fully experience what it is to be in the fifth dimension and get a head start. You can, I love this. Star, what did you say? If you want to, again, this is why it's so hard on TikTok. Star, I'd love to know what you said and why. And I don't know. Maybe I should just not just ignore the comments. I apologize. Let's do this. Let me do this too. All right. Okay. Sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings there. All right. We're going to do a meditation now. I want you to relax. Relax the physical body. Let all the tension out. I want you to close your eyes if you can. We're going to rise to the fourth dimension. I want you to imagine, there's about 100 people here. I want you to imagine we're all in an airplane. We all have our seats in the airplane. We're going down the runway. It's raining. You can see you have a window seat. You can see the rain on the window. The plane's going down the runway. It takes off. There's 100 of us in this plane. As it rises, you see the rain streaking on the windows. And pretty soon, the plane enters into the clouds. Gloomy, dark, see the raindrops or the moisture still on the window. Pretty soon again, the plane rises above the clouds. And what do you see? Blue sky all around you, bright sun overhead. Mind, the clouds represent mind. The third dimension is a dimension of mind. We live in a mental universe. People below the clouds, us, people who are not ascending or just people who are living their everyday life, are controlled by subconscious mind. 90% of what you do is subconscious habit. We do the same things over and over and over again. That's the third dimension. It's a dimension of mind. The fourth dimension is above the clouds, perfectly clear in all directions. Beautiful sun overhead. Look around you. There's no limitations in the fourth dimension. Whatever plan you conceive in the fourth dimension, there's nobody playing defense. Nobody's trying to stop you because your plans are not based on three-dimensional structures. They're based on fourth dimensional unlimitedness. You're a fourth dimensional being. You've always been a fourth dimensional being. In the fourth dimension, not only are you above mind, you're above time, because time is an element of mind. You are above time. Now, in the fourth dimension, what you can do is you can look back on your life from the very beginning, see all the experiences of your life, all the influences, your successes, your failures. You see them all tied together like little strings, millions of them, and they form like a cable. This cable is your life stream. From the time you were born, and you realize that this life stream goes right up to now, the now moment. The now moment. And you can see your life like that. In the third dimension, you're inside the cable. And so life is just coming at you all the time. But in the fourth dimension, you're above time. And you can see that your life stream is continuing and there's the now moment. You also, it's pretty obvious, if you don't make any changes in the things that you do and the people you hang around with and the things you do, your life stream is going to continue on exactly as it has. You're going to do the same things over and over and over again, just like you've been doing. Next month's going to be just like last month. This coming years, 2025 is going to be just like 2024 and 2023 and 2022. There's going to be no change. So in the fourth dimension is where you can start to sprinkle seeds. And by sprinkle seeds, I mean make lifestyle changes, become healthier, become more balanced in your relationships. Let go of the negativity and the trauma. Start to chop off negative sources of inputs. Just get rid of all that stuff. Because if you don't, your life will just continue on exactly as it has. You have to make fairly radical changes if you want to bend your life stream and have it project up into a higher reality or a different timeline or just better experiences if you want to be a better human. So that's the fourth dimension. I also want you to look down at yourself in the third dimension. And notice if you're sitting in a chair and you're meditating, notice that your body doesn't move. Your body has no mind of its own. Your body has no will of its own. It doesn't want to do something. It wants to do what you tell it to do. Now, usually you don't tell it what to do because it's going off of its subconscious programming from the time you were 2 and 3 years old. And it's still operating under those same beliefs and those same systems. And so you're not really aware of it, but your life is happening while you're not even paying attention. But I do want you to understand that your body has no mind of its own. It won't move until you tell it to move. It won't move until you lose your fourth dimensional awareness and drop back down into the third dimension. Then it'll go back to doing what it always does by habit, scratching. Your body has no agenda. That's the point. Whatever agenda, whatever seeds you plant in the fourth dimension is exactly what that, in other words, I could tell that body, it's an avatar. Let me use that word. You ever play those games? Maybe I'm outdated with games, I'm sure I am. But like you'd start the game and you'd pick your avatar and it would just have no expression on its face. It would just, kind of be standing there bouncing, waiting for you to tell it what to do. So you gave it, blonde hair and a mustache and you put different clothes on it and you made it athletic or whatever you wanted to do. And that your avatar became that. The fourth dimension is where you can start to program that avatar. Take all the default programming, the negative programming that's embedded in your body now, and get rid of it and reprogram your body to be healthier, to have, to just have much better habits, to eat healthier, to be more active, to take walks at night, to do a morning meditation, to be a deep breather. You can program thousands of new habits into that avatar. The goal being to bring that avatar into balance. That's your goal in the fourth dimension, is to learn how to control yourself in the third dimension so that that life down there is more balanced. Now, of course, you are the avatar, you are the programmer, you're both, right? And you go back and forth. Probably most of you will spend more time back, in the avatar, but every once in a while you'll come to clarity and you'll come back. So what we do in the fourth dimension is we make plans. We give ourselves like a compass. This book here, The Cycle of Mind, it introduces a fourth dimensional tool called the thought matrix. And in the fourth dimension, I don't know if you can read that or not, Cycle of Mind. The link is in my profile. But in that book, I talk about giving yourself a moral compass, defining what you stand for in life. What kind of a person are you? What values and principles do you stand for? And you do this in the fourth dimension because when you go back to the third dimension, it's going to be chaos again. It's going to be crazy. You're out of balance again. But now, wait a minute, I'm holding on to this compass that I developed in the fourth dimension. Now I actually have it in the third dimension and I can start to align my life with my values and principles. I can start to align my life with the new habits I'm trying to create because now I'm holding on to literally a compass to guide me instead of the third dimension where everything's coming at me and I have no guide and I'm just trying to grab onto whatever comes next. I now have my own moral compass. Does that make sense? You're building plans, you're using tools in the fourth dimension so that when you lose your fourth dimensional awareness and you're back in 3D, you still have the tool. You don't have the consciousness anymore. You lost that temporarily, but you still have the tool. You still have the guide. You still have the blueprint. You still have your thought matrix that you can work with. So the most important thing I can teach you in the fourth dimension, you're above time. You're above mind. You start to understand that time operates in much longer rhythms and cycles, not the way you want it to operate. The universe operates how it operates on its own timeline, in its own rhythms, and it does operate in rhythms and cycles, and it just takes its time. You plant an acorn, it may take even 12 weeks for it to just stick its head above the dirt. It may take a year for it to get 10 inches tall. You can't rush an oak tree. You just can't. And in the fourth dimension, you see that that's true. And in the people in the third dimension are like pedaling their bicycle furiously, trying to get somewhere really, really fast, but they're violating the rhythms of the universe. They don't even understand the rhythms of the universe. They're not aware of it because no one teaches this to them. So, thank you, by the way, for the shares. I hope more people can share because we just started. I'm going to be here for at least another hour. So in the fourth dimension is where you plant seeds This is important. You start to use the power of time as your ally. You start to work with the rhythms of time. You start to work with the power of time and the way mind works and the way source works. This is really important. Now, the second thing you're going to do in the fourth dimension is you're going to look up to the fifth dimension. You're going to use the fourth dimension as a platform to ascend to the fifth dimension. Now, you don't have to stop in the fourth dimension. You can just go right from 3D to 5D. And many people who weren't at this meditation that we just did 4 minutes ago, anyone who's come in the last 5 or 6 minutes, you didn't do the 4D meditation. So when we do the 5D meditation, you'll be going from 3D to 5D. But some of you are still in that 4D mindset. You don't have to do that, but you can actually develop a plan to ascend to the fifth dimension. There are 3 things you need to ascend to the fifth dimension. And of course, they're not material things. The first thing you need, the first step in fifth dimensional ascension is balance. If your third dimensional life is erratic, emotional, out of balance, your relationships aren't settled, your health is poor, you're always stressed about time, just a lot of, we walk around, most people in America are highly stressed. When you're out of balance like that, there's no 5D for you. It doesn't work that way. You can't experience 5D without balance, okay? The second step in 5D, so again, we work in the fourth dimension to bring our third dimensional life into balance. We use our higher understanding to train ourselves, to train that avatar, to get that avatar in balance. Why do we want to get that avatar in balance? So we don't have to constantly worry about it. We gave it good instructions. We've worked with it for weeks, months, years, and now it's on its own. It's on autopilot, and it's a good person down there. He's doing the right things, healthy, always exercising, doing his morning routine, doing everything he has to do to be a good person. That's what you want. You want to bring your 3D life into balance so that now you can start opening up to more 5D experiences. The second step in fifth dimensional ascension, or the second attribute that you need, is called heart-centered. Mind-centered, this is the poster child right here for mind-centered. This is my personal struggle. I have to think about everything. I have to speak about everything. I have to explain everything. I have to write it down. I have to give everything a name. That's the first thing we do, by the way, with little kids. That's the first thing we do. They're 4 or 5 months old, and you hold them up and you go, ooh, there's the tree. Look at the leaves. See the sky. See the clouds. See the sun. Ooh, you feel the wind. Everything has to have a name. Everything has to be identified. Everything has to be, set in stone. Like if it's not, we have to explain it and rationalize it. So we are mind-centered in 3 dimensions. Now, there are many people, well, first of all, I don't want to be sexist because it's not entirely true, but most men are mind-centered. But let's not be sexist because most women are mind-centered too. But there are definitely people who exhibit heart-centered behavior. Right? They are heart-centered more than they're mind-centered. And they've been working on this not just today, they've been working on it for many, many years, and they have become more and more heart-centered. What is heart-centered? Quiet, just turn your voice off, stop. You don't have to give everything a name. You can let people be who they are. You don't have to explain it to them. You don't have to fix them. You don't have to convince them or change them. You just let the world go on. You let the universe go on. You're more receptive and accepting of energy that's coming to you. You're much more energy aware of situations. Again, you don't have to explain everything or convince or fix or defend. You just allow. The more heart-centered you are, the more open you are to fifth dimensional experience. The more mind-centered you are, you can experience it, but at a more narrow pace. So your goal is, you have 2 goals. Number 1, start to bring all the aspects of your life under balance using the 4th dimensional tools that we talk about. So you want to take these 4D tools, apply them down to your 3D avatar, and get that life in balance. And then number 2, you have to learn to be more accepting, more resonant, more energetic, less talking, less explaining, less thinking, more heart-centered, more open, more connected, more allowing of other people to do their thing. All right, there's that. The third thing you need, and we'll actually experience this now as we do this meditation, which we're going to do in a minute or two. The third thing you need to understand about fifth dimensional ascension is it's not an individual effort. Yeah, it is an individual effort. You're the one that has to wake up in the morning. You've got to do the work. You've got to do the meditations. You've got to become healthy. You've got to bring your life into balance. You have to be heart-centered. You have to do the 5D meditations. Yeah, it's an individual effort, but it's not. What your 5D experience wasn't made for you. It was made for us as humanity. Humanity is ascending to the fifth dimension, not you by yourself. When you ascend, what you're doing is you're adding your light to the collective. Every positive decision you make, every kind thing you do, every generous act you take, every time you do a meditation, every time you make yourself healthy and do deep breathing, you're adding to the light of the collective. Yes, you're adding to your own light, but you're adding to the light of collective. And the second thing you're doing, as you ascend to 5D, you're creating a path, a template, a ladder that other people can follow. The more people who work on ascending to 5D, the more people can ascend to 5D, right? When in the beginning, only a very few are able to do it or even to think about it. But when you link arms with a collective and we do this together, then it allows more people to ascend. So again, you're not doing it for yourself. Yes, you are going to be healthier, you'll be happier, your relationships will improve, everything's going to be great, you'll feel the light, it's going to be great, but you're not doing it for yourself. And until you surrender to the idea of unity consciousness, until you completely let go of the idea that most people are ascending to, well, not most people, a lot of people want to ascend to 5D. You know why? Because they're afraid of getting left back in 3D. They're doing it for themselves. They don't want to be on old Earth. They don't want to be part of this anymore. They want to ascend to a higher vibration. And they're doing it, in truth, because they're afraid for their own future. They're not thinking, wait a minute, I'm really ascending to 5D to help the world, to help the Earth. See, we don't just live in any old time in history. The Earth itself is ascending to a fifth dimensional vibration, higher vibration. And here's the secret. If the Earth is ascending to 5D, guess what? We are ascending to 5D because we're not on the Earth. We are the Earth. We are the Earth. We are life on the Earth. So all of these ascension energies that are coming from inside the Earth, from the sun, from other places, all of these ascension energies are useless to you if you're locked in your 3D thinking, if you're dense 3D. If your life's not in balance, if you're not heart-centered, and you're all self-centered, not unity consciousness centered, the ascension energies don't penetrate you. But if you are balanced and heart-centered and surrendered to unity consciousness, you're able to anchor more of these ascension energies, more of this ascension wisdom, more of this ascension light. You can actually anchor more light into your body, which is the purpose of 5D. The fifth dimension is a dimension of light. Let's do the fifth dimension meditation right now. You should be relaxed. I'm talking. I'm all like, oh, I got all this energy going through me. I need to relax for a minute. You guys should be nice and relaxed. I want you to imagine that you are above the clouds. You're looking down. The clouds represent mind. Mind, below mind, is the third dimension. You're way past the third dimension. You're in the fourth dimension now. And when you're above the clouds, what do you see? Blue sky all around you. And what else do you see? Beautiful, bright sun over your head. That's the light of the universe. That's the light of source. That's the light of the universe. That's the light. That's the fifth dimension. And I want you to start just becoming that light, just moving closer to it or have it move closer to you. And just as you enter the orbit and the light starts to get into you, allow the light to penetrate into your being. Allow this light to penetrate into your cells, to surround you completely. and just become more and more like that light. And just bathe in that feeling. Just linger in this feeling of light. And now I want you to take your three-dimensional mask off. Just take the mask off and just allow the light to radiate from you. You're part of the light. The light is part of you. And now I want you to take this shell, this three-dimensional shell that we all wear, take that off. And all that's left is light. Yes, radiate that light. Feel that light flowing through you. You are a being of light. Now I want you to imagine around the earth is a web of light, all surrounding the earth. You, me, her, him, all of us are points of light in this web. Remember I said we're not doing this for ourselves? We're doing it for humanity to ascend. Each one of us is a point of light in this global web of light. And as you're bathing in this light, as you feel this light, I want you to feel the vibration of the 100, 200 people that are doing this right now on this live. Right now, I want you to feel everybody's energy. And I want you to feel that, whoa, that intense vibration. Let your skin tingle. Just merge with the light, merge with the collective light, merge with the earth's web of light. Not only the people that are here now, but now I want you to expand that to the millions of people on the planet who are kind, generous, making healthy decisions, making kind decisions, acts of generosity, acts of kindness. I want you to see that every single act of everyone on the planet adds to the light. You are that web of light. You're not just a single point, you're all of it. See, I also want you to see electromagnetic light coming in, through, and around the earth. The electromagnetic field of the earth, and realize that's for us. That's to heal us. That's our light as well. I want you to feel that. I want you to feel the solar rays from the sun that are bathing the earth. That's for us. Every positive step you take in your life, every kind word, every generous act, every little positive change you make amplifies your light, makes your light brighter. Every time you jump back into the 3D world, it darkens your light. Every time you send an angry text about politics, it darkens your light. Every time you argue with your wife or your kids, it darkens your light. Your job is to cultivate the light within you by bringing yourself to balance, opening up your heart center, and surrendering to the larger unity consciousness. That's how you're going to experience the full light of your nature. Just bliss in that light for a minute. Feel the light flowing through you. Feel yourself connected to the inner global web of light. Feel everything in you is joining that web of light. As soon as you touch that web of light, it makes you much more powerful. As soon as you touch that web of light, it makes the web stronger. It makes it easier for more people to ascend. The lighter, the stronger that web of light, it makes it so much easier for more people to ascend. We are not doing this for ourselves. We are literally doing this for humanity, to allow the earth to ascend. We are life on earth, and as we ascend, as the earth ascends, we're all ascending together. I don't know the specifics of the future. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I do know that every day I am cultivating my inner light. I am trying to bring my life to balance. I am trying to be more heart-centered. I am surrendering this self-centered thing that I got with the fear and the greed and I gotta have, and I'm doing it. No, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the earth. You're doing it for life. We're part of an interstellar web of life. We can't even conceive how complex it is. Let me tell you something else. These orbs that people see, and I'm hook, line, and sinker. The aliens are right here waiting for, I don't know what they're waiting for. I know we all wanted them here yesterday, right? So, but they're light. So these orbs, they are conscious beings. They're plasmoid beings. They're conscious. They're sentient. And what they want is they want your light. They want you to connect with them. They want to build this web of light on earth. The more you accept them, the more light you're able to give, the more you're helping the whole bigger picture unfold. See, all of us are expanding in consciousness. We're not aware of this bigger picture that's going on around us, and we're certainly not aware of our role in it because we can't really see that. We don't have that global perspective. We see it from our own eyes, but I want you to start letting go of this three-dimensional thing, and I want you to start stepping into, like I said, take that three-dimensional shell off your body and just allow your light to radiate. Just allow this ascension wisdom to anchor in your body. Allow this ascension energy to flow through you. And I want you to start anchoring much, much, much more light in your body. Let me talk about, since I brought the aliens up, let me talk about that. You're not in charge of the aliens. I'm not in charge of the aliens. Nobody is. They're going to do whatever they want. If they exist, let's say they do. I don't, look, they're going to do what they're going to do. The more time you spend thinking about that, and oh, look, I saw a UFO, and I saw, oh my, I'm pretty sure that's a UFO. Oh, that's a fake one. The more time you spend looking at UFO pictures and wanting the aliens to come and save the world, you know what you're not doing? You're not doing the inner work of ascension. Ascension is inner work. You should be bringing your life into balance, not by focusing on all these outer things, focusing on politics, focusing on the alien story, focusing on whatever else all your Netflix series. That's all outside. The work of ascension is on the inside, cultivating your energy flow, raising your cellular vibration, bringing different aspects of your life into balance, becoming more heart-centered, surrendering to unity. That's ascension. The worrying, when are the aliens coming? I can't wait. I'm going to stand in my sky and look for them. Oh, I think I saw something. I think I saw something. You're just focused on the outer world. That's the three-dimensional universe. The aliens, believe it or not, are part of the three-dimensional universe. I don't want the aliens. I want what they know. I want to understand how to grow in my own light, how to be more like Source. I don't care about them. I don't care when they come tomorrow. I don't care. But we already know what they're going to teach us because we already know what they taught the Egyptians. We already know what they taught the Sumerians because they preserved all that wisdom. I have a video on TikTok, like a 9-minute video on TikTok. Lorena, I'm guessing you want me to talk about the circles of the blueprint, self-reliability. All right, so Rachel says, I wish I could keep this vibe Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. This is the work of ascension, Rachel. That's the whole point of all the work. There are two aspects to ascension that all of us must cultivate, and you got to love them both. You can't do one without the other. You can't do this one without this one. The one that everyone wants is the fun stuff, what we just did, the ascending to light, the fourth dimension, the fifth dimension, light consciousness, chakra activation. Yeah. That's the fun stuff. Woo, that feels really good. But you will not be able to maintain that if you don't do the other work. The other work is the work that everyone shies away from. It's the work of building new habits in your life. And new habits don't come just by thinking about them. You've got to do them every day for days, weeks, months. I recommend I'll say it as let me just say, I recommend this habit. I want you to establish a morning routine and an evening routine. And I'm going to show you how to master this harder part of the work. Establish a morning routine and an evening routine. Morning, night, morning, night, morning, night, morning, night. See what I'm doing? I'm creating a pattern. I'm creating a new vibrational pattern. And once I create this vibrational pattern, it becomes a habit. It becomes ingrained in my subconscious. And I'm doing a morning routine every morning, and I'm doing an evening routine every night. What is the morning routine? Well, make it simple. Make it easy for yourself to succeed. Write down these 3 things. Number 1, 3 deep breaths. Every morning, as soon as you wake up, take 3 big deep breaths. I don't mean a big breath. I mean full. Pull your ribs apart, elbows away from the body, relax your back, everything. Instead of taking this much air, we're going to try to take this much air. 3, 4, 5 times more air. Do that 3 times every morning. The second aspect of your morning routine is stretching and energy massage. Stretch, side stretch, shoulder stretch, neck twirls. Get your energy running, right? Self-massage. Get yourself going. You should feel invigorated in the morning. You should feel, woo, I feel fantastic. So that's the first 2 things you should do every single morning. Everything I just said takes no more than 3 minutes. It's the next one that takes a little time. And the third aspect of your morning routine is meditation. Now, morning is usually busy for most people. So 10 minutes of meditation is okay. 7 minutes of meditation is okay. Even 5 minutes of meditation is okay. But you need to do those 3 things every morning. Why? Because by 8:30 in the morning, check, 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 I already did 3 of the most important things that I could possibly do. And I've already done them by 8 in the morning. I'm setting myself up to have a great day. If you want to have a great day, you got to start with a great morning. So make it so simple. Make your morning routine so simple that you wouldn't even consider missing it, because it's so simple. Deep breathing, stretching, and meditation. What's your evening routine? 3 deep breaths, stretching, and meditation. Normally, as you're winding down for the evening, you might also want to journal. You might also want to read. You have a couple other things you can do, maybe do some different exercises, because you have a little bit more time with yourself in the evening. But look, anchor yourself in the morning and anchor yourself again at night. Why do you need a night routine? Suppose you just have a morning routine. Well, you get off to a great start, but then you know what? We all know what happens. The whole world gets crazy. Your life gets crazy. Everything's out of balance. And then you don't have an evening routine. So literally you're untethered all day. You wake up, you get yourself back to balance, but then you go out of balance again. If you only have an evening routine, well, great. You get yourself in balance before you go to sleep. But as soon as you wake up, you're checking your TikTok, doing this, you're all out of balance. You have to anchor yourself, tether yourself down every morning, every night. That's the single most important habit that every human being should have. Now let's talk about the meditation. My philosophy, make it really easy to succeed. Like, it should be so simple, you should succeed every time. All you have to do for the meditation, if you're a beginner, is just sit quietly, try to feel your diaphragm, start to use your inner sight, right? Feel your diaphragm, just feel it relaxing, relax every other muscle. See your diaphragm. Don't worry about your breathing pace, how deep you're breathing. It's not a breathing exercise, it's a meditation exercise. See your diaphragm, and then just think of a keyword, a focus word. Today we're going to do patience. Just see the word patience. Because that word patience, when we speak, those words have energy, like it carries actual meaning and energy. So the word patience is just, 7 letters or something, 8 letters? It's more than that. It's a lot. It means a lot of things. So what I want you to do is just imagine the word patience and just let it enter your body and let it percolate through your system. Patience. What does that mean? Patience, patience, patience. Let it percolate right into your DNA. Just do that for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. You know what's going to happen? A couple of days from now, if you meditate on patience, 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 a couple of days from now, right in the middle of the day, you're going to all of a sudden subconsciously say, patience. That's how you train yourself. The beauty of a morning and an evening meditation is that you can now program, because think about it. If you're going to meditate every morning and every night, that's 730 meditations you're going to do in the next day, in the next year. 730 meditations. Is every meditation going to be a explosion and cosmic understanding? Oh my God, no, most of your meditations are going to be fidgety, thinking about an email you have to send, distracted. Get yourself back. Patience. Your focus. Patience. And then you get distracted again. Not every meditation is going to be an explosive consciousness raising event, but here's what you did. You did it. And you did it again, and you did it again, and you did it again, and you did it again. The habit itself is way more important than the content of the meditation. Because as you progress, now once you lock it in as a subconscious habit, well, you can't wake up in the morning without doing your morning routine, and you can't go to sleep at night without doing your evening routine. Once you're at that state, now we can start to program some more complex meditations. We can put in 5D light meditations. We could put 4D meditations. We could do the non-dual Shiva Tantra meditation of the 3 veils of duality. Totally life-changing. All of these meditations are life-changing, but if you don't have a morning and evening meditation routine, your life's not in balance. And so these meditations don't really help you. You've got to help yourself. You have to be self-reliant. You have to take responsibility for your own personal development. And the single most important habit you can have that's going to get you off to a flying start every morning is a simple 3-step morning routine. Repeat after me. 3 deep breaths, stretching and a little, energy massage, and a meditation. And then do it again at night. And then do it again tomorrow. Do it again tonight. You do that. Once you get that rhythm going, now you're really doing inner work. That's what it means to do inner work. To just be, oh, look at the moon, it's in phase, and the solar thing, and the thing, I call them unicorns. They're so into synchronicities and this and that. They're so focused on the outer world, their lives aren't in balance. They don't have a morning routine. They don't have an evening routine. They're just loving, they're floating around, and they don't have any self-discipline or self-reliance. And then they're not getting anywhere because all they're doing is looking outside. Oh, it's a summer solstice, it's this. Let's do a meditation on the full moon. You're looking outside yourself. The work is here. It's discipline. It's not fun. It's not easy, but you have to make it. The way you make something easy is to make it what? A habit. As soon as it's a habit, it's easy. Habits are the easiest thing in the world because you do them all the time. So Rachel, that was a long answer. How do you keep this vibe Monday through Friday? Morning, evening, morning, evening. And then what happens is after a few days and weeks, you'll start to remind yourself of these things through the day. You'll start to stand up and massage, just give yourself an energy massage and stretch. All of a sudden 10:30 in the morning, you stand up from your computer and now you're stretching and now you're taking some deep breaths. You want to become a deep breather. That's the most important habit you can have. I've really kind of glossed over deep breathing, but again, 3 deep breaths every morning, 3 deep breaths at night. Why is deep breathing so important? I'm going to tell you. We breathe like this. And now let's be clear. You can live 100 years and never take a deep breath. So this is enough. No problem. But what happens is when you breathe the bare minimum, what happens is your cells need 2 things from the air and the air outside. They need oxygen and they need chi, prana, I call it vital life force, the vibrating energy that's in the air. They need oxygen and they need the vibratory energy. When you breathe like this, your cells are operating at the lowest possible level. Why is that? Because they know they're not going to get any more fuel. They know I'm just not going to get any more oxygen. I'm not going to get any more life force. This is what this guy gives me. That's what he's going to give me, that's how I'm going to operate. I have to operate at the lowest level. What you want to do is you want to take all this oxygen and prana and chi that's out there and you want to get it in here. This is where you want it. You want to give it to your cells. It's not doing you any good out there. It's there for the taking. Take it in and give this oxygen and life force to your cells. And within 3 weeks, sooner for a lot of you, but if you are a serious deep breather, morning and night, morning, night, morning, night, then you'll start to get some muscle memory in your ribs, and then you'll start to do some deep breathing during the day. All of a sudden, after a few weeks, you're now a deep breather. Watch what happens. The cells are saying, the first time you deep breathe, the cells don't care. Because, oh yeah, whatever, yeah, I don't believe it. You do it again, they don't believe it. After a couple of days, they'll start to say, hey, wait a minute, she's serious. I keep getting this extra oxygen and life force. All right, I'm going to start to, and slowly your cells start to operate at a higher vibratory rate. And you'll feel it. You literally can feel yourself come alive. You can feel your own energy system activate if you do energy cultivation. You can literally feel yourself rise in vibration and frequency. Why is this important? Because in the fifth dimension, the goal is to anchor more light into your physical body. And when your cells are operating at a higher vibratory rate, they can anchor more light. And when you have energy cultivation, the energy is flowing and flying through your system, you can anchor more light into your body. Whether it's in your cells or your DNA or your chakra system, it doesn't matter. You're doing the inner work, not just the meditation, but this is now physical work. This is raising your physical vibratory rate. That's why you have to do deep breaths, stretching, and meditation. Deep breaths, stretching, and meditation. You have to do the meditation work, but you also have to do the physical work to raise your health, raise your own inner vibration, so that you now can start to anchor more light in your system. I'll take, there's a lot of questions here. Azen, I'll look at your recent question here. It says, what about narcissists? You're talking about people that are negative. They're negative people. So this is really important because people, let me say it a couple of different ways. People like us, spiritually minded people, people that want to know more truth about ourselves, that want to be better people, want to be better humans. You know, we want to ascend, we want to be enlightened, you know, we want to get more out of life. People like us tend not to have power because it feels a little weird for us to go pursue power. It just doesn't feel right. I know that's how I feel, and I know the vast majority of you understand exactly what I'm saying. We tend not to have power, so we tend to sit here while other people have power, and we just, you know, kind of go with the wind, you know, because we're not in the front. Here's the thing, right? The people who have the power don't have the same values that we have. They're highly self-centered. They're not going to use the power to make the world better. They're not going to use the power to make sure we have enough. Whereas if we had the power, we would turn around and make sure that everybody had enough, because that's the way we are. That's just our nature, right? So we don't have the power. The fourth dimension is a double jump over those people. It says the meek shall inherit the earth. When you have power, you just don't know how to express it in 3 dimensions. When you check out the fourth dimension, for those of you that weren't here, we did a detailed fourth dimension, that was already about a half hour ago. In the fourth dimension, you've got all the power in the universe, man. It's all for you. Like, there's no limits. It's all the power. And I'll show you, I was showing the other night, how to direct that power right back into your life. So one of the things that you have to do to take your own power is you have to start closing off negative energy sources. So for example, for a lot of people, the news just keeps them in a constant state of agitation. It's different between knowing what's going on and sinking your mind into the news. I think all of us should know what's going on. We all should know what's going on. But if you sink yourself into it, you become that negative energy. If you're constantly saying, can you believe this? And you're, answering doing all these messages on TikTok, and, you're commenting and commenting on a comment. Look what I'm doing. I am now that. I have become the negative energy. So you have to learn how to block off the negative energy. So let's think of it this way. At 12 o'clock, looking at a clock, 12 o'clock, pointing straight ahead, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, inner peace, balance, patience, heart-centered, light consciousness, right? Surrounding myself with the collective, with people who are positive, right? Okay, so that's the fifth dimension. The more I keep my mind focused on that, the closer that reality comes to me, until eventually it touches me and eventually percolates in me and eventually becomes my experience. I now am patient, balanced, healthy, peaceful, heart-centered, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, light conscious. I become that because that's where I put my attention. That's new earth. That's ascended earth. Old earth over here at 9 o'clock. the more I look at this and I complain about this and all the negative energy, I'm just allowing all these stupid TV shows. When you scroll on your TikTok feed, you're allowing all this garbage into your head. Even though you may scroll right past it, that image is still right in your head. You saw it, you can't get rid of it. It's in your subconscious. The more time you spend on the three-dimensional world, look what happens. That reality gets closer and ascension gets further away. So you have to be very careful about where you put your attention. Most people, they have no plan. They have no tools. They're just whatever's on TV, whatever's on the thing, whatever's on the screen. That's what they do. Friends want to go out drinking. All right, let's go out drinking. They have no plan. They're not in control of their own lives. They have no discernment. They can't control what comes in. You have to learn to block out negative energy sources and exclusively focus on positive energy sources. Look, there's 8 billion content creators on TikTok. Pick 50 or 60 that make you feel happy, that make you feel better about yourself, that make you feel healthy. Support those content creators. Like, repost, follow, share stuff. I mean, keep positive stuff in your mind. That's your job. Right? There's enough positive stuff, more than enough positive stuff to keep you busy 24 hours a day. Why do we allow so much of this negativity in? And by allowing it in, we become it. By allowing positive, you become it. Talk about your health all the time, you become healthier. That's the way it works. Now, specifically, negative people, okay? Narcissists are particular. There are, look, I mean, everyone, that's such a common word now, but there are a lot of narcissists in the world. Again, narcissists tend to be very powerful. They tend to be in positions of power, and they certainly are in positions of power in relationships. So if there are people, first of all, if there are work people that are negative and dragging you down, or friends that are dragging you down, you got to get rid of them. You got to hit the eject button and move on. Why do I say that? You have to do it without feeling bad. Because if this is your reality today, and you want this ascended reality, all of these bonds will eventually have to be broken. Because that's what's holding you in this reality. Millions of bonds, people, knowledge, all kinds of things. That's what's holding you there. So all of those limitations will eventually have to be broken one at a time for you to eventually to experience yourself as where you want to be, more ascended, more enlightened, more happier, healthier, more balanced. Your relationships are better. It means everything has to be broken. So you can intentionally disrupt first of all, disrupt your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the big thing that's keeping you where you're at. And most people don't want to get out of their comfort zone, but people who are self-reliant, they disrupt their comfort zone by themselves. They don't wait for somebody else to tell them what to do. They don't wait around for instructions. They just start getting healthier. They start being more kind, more generous. They break the bonds themselves. They start getting rid of friends that drag them down. They start getting rid of family members that or I should say relatives. Someone said, my family doesn't support me. I replied back, I said, those are your relatives. The collective is your family. The people that love you are your family. The people that keep you down are your relatives. You got to be really clear about that. You can't divorce your children. If that's the source of stress and trauma, you're going to have to do some hard work to bring yourself into balance in the midst of this imbalanced situation. That's the point of the fourth dimensional tools that we talk about. You want to bring yourself into balance so that eventually these people are still out of balance. So let's say there's a narcissist, right? This is the original question. So the narcissist is like this, and it makes me feel bad, and the more weak I am, the more the narcissist pounces, and then I get weak, and they pounce, and this whole endless out of balance dance that you do. What you have to do is start to bring yourself into balance. That person's on their own journey. So we spend our time trying to fix people, trying to say, oh, I don't like the way you do that. You should do it this way. If you really want to make me happy, you would do this. My wife, give you a real example, she puts 20 freaking pillows on the couch, and it just triggers me. Like, what the fuck do we need 20 pillows, right? So, there's 20 pillows on the couch, and I just come in like an attack. Why are there 20 pillows on the couch? Which isn't a question, it's an attack. Why are there 20 pillows on the couch? It's an attack. So then we go back, and she reacts, well, she pulls away, and then I say, don't pull away, and we're all out of balance dance, right? I have to learn to accept the fact that she's on her own journey, and part of her journey is that she's going to put 20 pillows on the couch. And if it affects me, that's now my problem. I can control myself. I can become a better person. I can become more calm. She's still her. And eventually, ooh, look at this. We start to come into a balanced wavelength. When we do the parents groups, the kids are driving the parents crazy, and the parents are always correcting, punishing, blah, blah, blah. The whole thing's a whole, if you were to like have a drone and go over everybody's house, you'd see all these crazy wavelengths coming out of the parents and the kids. Who knows what's going on in there, right? What has to happen in order for it to fix, the parent or the parents have to come in balance. And this takes time. You don't snap your fingers and get in balance. It takes time. And the more the parents can start to come in balance, the kids are still kids. They're going to do crazy things. They're going to spill chocolate milk on the couch. They're going to do all kinds of things, right? They're still kids. But eventually your household starts to get into a smoother, more balanced wavelength. And this is more stable for the kids. It helps them with school. It helps them in their emotional stability. It deepens the relationship between the parent and the child. So we work on, you would think in the parents group, we're working on how to deal with your kids. Most of what we talk about is how to bring yourself into balance so that you're not crazy when things go crazy, that you're the calm one. And when everything's going crazy, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So I don't know. I don't know that answered that question, but what do you do when your spouse is low vibration, stubborn, negative, and won't even listen to you? All right. So this brings up the idea that it's really a struggle to leave your family members. And I want to tell you this, okay? We talked about light consciousness. We talk about taking off the mask and allowing the light to come out, taking off the shell, and just allowing the light. Start to really understand who you are, who you really are. You're a being of light, and you've been trapped in this three-dimensional matrix with the littlest, tiniest bit of light. So now we're going to open that matrix, get you into the fourth dimension, get you into the fifth dimension. You're going to start to hold more light. So you've got all this beautiful stuff going on in your life. So you're vibrating at a higher rate, but your family isn't. It used to be this. You were all the same. Everybody was getting together. You all watched, the football games on Sunday and, all the things you guys did together. But now you don't do those things anymore. You're a little bit different. You're vibrating at a higher level. And these people are vibrating at a lower level. First of all, if these people are not your relatives, just snip them, get rid of them, and find new friends in our collective who will draw you upward, right? You need magnets that draw you up. You don't need magnets that draw you down. But people in your family, you can't divorce, you can't get rid of your family, right? They're your family. So what you have to do is, first of all, just recognize that, oh, okay, instead of being frustrated or trying to fix them or trying to explain to them, look how hard it was for you to bring yourself into balance. You think trying to fix your husband is going to bring him into balance? No, it doesn't work that way. He's on his own path. He's going to do his own thing. Your kids are going to do their own thing. So what you have to do is create space for yourself here, find new friends, new activities, new sources of information and knowledge that bring you up. Right? The more you do this, the easier you'll ascend, the more your consciousness will expand, right? The more you try to fix or convince or change people, you're just wasting, you become that. You're just bringing your own vibration down. So the first step is to, number one, if you can't get out of, first step is to get out of it. The second step, if you can't get out of it, is to simply now acknowledge and be aware, okay, I see why I'm getting frustrated because I'm here. I want to talk about, enlightenment and reincarnation and the alien. I want to talk about higher level things. And these people want to talk about the Kardashians and the things I don't care about anymore, right? So what you have to now do is acknowledge this mismatch, this resonance mismatch. And eventually you'll find a way, if you eventually ascend, it means breaking almost all bonds. You can't feel bad about the bonds that you're breaking, and here's why. If you're acting from your balanced self, from your authentic self, so this is really who I am. I love the person I'm becoming. I love what my future is going to be. I'm really excited about where I'm going in my life, the new people I'm meeting, the new experiences I'm having. These people are not along for the ride anymore. We are all beings of light. Right? You're a being of light. You just realized it. They haven't realized it yet. But they're still beings of light. They're going to be just fine. And when you separate and have, some of us are going to have to face these decisions. In my family, I've got it where everybody just gives me space. Oh, that's just crazy Grandpa Allen. You know, he's just got to say these weird things. So I have the space to do that. No one's trying to reel me in. No one's trying to change me or fix me or, criticize me or, call the loony bin on me, and have family services come and take me away. I just have my space, which is all I need. All you need is a little bit of breathing space. Find a way for them to you let them be the way you are. Part of the reason they don't want to be with you is because you keep trying to change them. So they're responding to that. Just let them go on their own journey. Their souls, their beings of light, they're going to be just fine. It's going to all come out. It's all going to come out in the end. It's all light. It's all energy. The whole thing is an illusion, right? Don't worry about it. You do you. You keep raising your vibration. First, acknowledge that there's a difference. Enjoy the difference. And then eventually, their concerns fade away and your consciousness continues to expand. Your vibratory rate continues to go up. Your experiences change. If you've got to go to New Earth and they've got to stay over here, it's okay. As long as you're doing it from your authentic self and you're doing it, for ascension. I don't want to say anything more than that. But you can't hold on to those things. Thank you for all the likes. That's amazing. Appreciate it. I'm going to like myself. Thank you all. Appreciate it. What time is it? 9:10. Okay, we still have a little bit of time. I want to give you a tip. This is how do you bring these? First of all, let me take a breath because I'm. It was a lot. It's a lot of energy. Okay, the technique that I'm going to share with you is two parts. I just did it. Number one is what is it? Hold on one second. I'll use the word detach. I may have forgotten the word. The first element is just detach. Okay, so whatever's going on around you, just detach from that for a second, right? You ever like watch TV and while you're watching TV, like you're thinking and all of a sudden you have a really great thought, right? What I do is I put the TV on pause. I detach from what I was doing and now I am focused on what I was thinking about, what I want. Maybe I'll pull out my journal and start writing or something. So the first element is to detach, to give yourself a moment of clarity. The second is to linger in the moment of clarity. Let me give you a real example. There's a park about a little bit more than in between a quarter mile, half a mile from my house. And when my grandsons come over, if it's nice outside, sometimes we go, sometimes we all go as a family, sometimes I just take my two grandsons. So as I'm walking on the street, I'm in grandpa mode. Hey, be careful, there's cars coming. I'm really into the three-dimensional thing. Like, be careful, there's cars coming, move to the side. Come on, guys, don't do that. The whole thing, right? Because they're two boys. We get down to the playground, and I sit in the chair, and I sit in the bench, and they're doing their thing, and I'm still engaged in the three-dimensional thing. I'm like, be careful, don't go too high. Hey, give him a turn. Come on, let him have a chance. Hey, that was really great. Great job. I'm being grandpa, right? I'm doing my thing. And then I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden, I have this beautiful moment of clarity that just comes on me, and I just go, wow, this is fantastic. I'm here with my grandkids. There's a beautiful park. The trees are swaying, the wind, the clouds, the sun. This is beautiful. You know what I do next? I take my phone out of my pocket and I start looking at, how many followers did I get today? I'm all in my phone. What I did is I had a beautiful moment of clarity and then I killed it. I stopped it. What I want you to do is when you experience a moment of clarity, I want you to remember this word, linger in that moment. Linger in it, savor it, enjoy it. Yeah, just enjoy it. Let your mind go and just be peaceful and the whole thing. So number one is you want to be able to create moments of clarity, or number two, experience, like notice the moment of clarity, because sometimes you get the moment of clarity, then you blow it. You just continue on with what you're doing. Or you think of this great thought while you're watching the TV, but you just let the TV go on, and now the thought's gone. You didn't linger in it. You had a great idea, but you didn't linger in it. So get the idea, get the moment of clarity, get this feeling of bliss, or learn to create them yourself. That's the real skill. Create a moment of clarity, but that's only half of it. Linger in it. Just enjoy it. Savor it. Ooh, just stop talking and just enjoy it. Let your mind go where it needs to go. The beauty of the trees, the whole thing. Let me take a few deep breaths while I'm having this moment of clarity. Enjoy it. Think about it this way. Think about the like clouds over your head, dark clouds all over the place. A moment of clarity is like poking your finger through the clouds. A little ray of light gets through. When you linger, it's like making that hole bigger, so more light gets through. So if you can learn to create more moments of clarity, you can poke more holes. And if you learn to linger, you can make those holes really big. So you can allow much, much, much more light, peace, balance, patience, all good things, all ascended ideas. All of these things can anchor in your being more because you're intentionally detaching from whatever's going on. And by the way, this happened to me the other day. I was in a situation where a lot of people were talking about things I don't care about, and there was some tension and the whole thing, and I got involved, but I didn't really want to be involved. And all of a sudden, I wasn't involved, and I said, look at me, man. I'm like balanced in the middle of this whole thing. In the middle of all this chaos, I appreciated my own balance, and I remembered my own advice. Let me linger in this. You know the truth about 90% of situations? Silence is either a really good option or the best option almost all the time. Just be silent. Linger in whatever's happening. You don't need to throw your energy into every situation. You don't need to fix everybody. You don't need to fix everything. Everything doesn't have to be the way you want it. Just find your balance and linger in that balance. So detach yourself, take a break from it, and then linger. Yeah, that was a really good question. That question was a good question. It got me onto that topic. Awesome. So that's lingering, and hopefully that alone can bring you more peace and balance. Let's get the likes to 30,000. I've never even come close to that. Thank you so much, guys. I'm liking myself. Thank you. Let's do this. It's 9:15 where I am. I'm going to be on for another 15 minutes. So let's spend. Let me do a little commercial, and then I'm going to do a little commercial, and then we're going to do that fifth dimensional light consciousness meditation again for the many people who weren't here when we did it an hour ago. So first of all, the link in my profile. A couple of things. Number one, you want to buy this book, The Cycle of Mind. I wrote this book in 2018. It introduces, I don't know if that's mirrored or you can really see it. It's a cycle of mind. The link is in the link tree there. That's a fourth dimensional tool to work to project yourself back down into 3D consciousness and kind of bring some peace and balance into your life. So once you start to learn how, thank you, Joellen, thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, so that's a good book to read. If you're not a journaler, you do want to start. If you already have your own journal, that's great. Just use your own journal. If you don't have, if you're not a journaler, I created this journal. I made the pages much bigger, not like a smaller book. This one, I have two versions of it. This one with the little L bracket and no other design. This is a graph paper journal. So you journal with graph paper. The pages are numbered. You got the day of the week, the date, etc. You also have the thought matrix on the first page of the journal. If you prefer lined paper, then I created another version of the journal, the one with the sprinkles. This is lined paper. So just go there, go onto Amazon and pick up a journal and start journaling. What we're going to do is in these lives, we're going to actually do some journal exercise. So There you go. Not available in Amazon for CDMX. I don't know what that means, but what is CDMX? Anyway, going back to the link tree. I also have a YouTube account, Utopia Bookstore. I'm posting these lives. I'm taking these downloads and putting it up on my Utopia Bookstore YouTube page. So all these videos and all my TikTok videos that I've done over the last 5 or 6 weeks are all on the Utopia Bookstore YouTube. Why is that important? Because as much as I love this beautiful platform, it is a political ping pong ball. And everything that we build here can be shut off just like that. My ACCOUNT could be BLOCKED for absolutely no reason tomorrow. And I would have no recourse, nobody to complain to, no way to find you. So check it out. Make sure you're also subscribed on the YouTube channel. I just started that. I have another YouTube channel called Alan Gordon. If you want to look at that one too, but Utopia Bookstore is where I'd really like you to go. I'm just starting that one. I want to build that subscriber base, the follow base there. And the other link in my link tree is our Discord community. So for those of you that want to actually start thinking about how can we organize as a collective, how can we create routines and what can we create in the three-dimensional world that will solidify what we're doing as a community. So for those of you who are interested in going deeper into the community experience, join the Discord server. That link also is in my link tree. So any way you can connect in different platforms is really good, because I'm staying here until the lights go out. I love this platform. It's fantastic for a million reasons. It also has its weaknesses, but its biggest weakness is we're not in control of it. And that's a problem, because it can be taken away from us tomorrow. It already was taken away from us. I really, really got really upset about that, and really happy but it's just going to be that emotional roller coaster with this platform over and over and over again. And eventually it's not going to be here. Or we're not going to be able to talk about these things, or we're not going to want people to be talking about these things, or I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know we're not in control of it. So there's my commercial. Go to Discord, find me on YouTube, stay in, in my bio, it's just a bunch of links. All right, let's do the fifth dimensional ascension. We're going to do the same meditation that we did about an hour ago. Oh, the parents course. Thank you, Lorena. I'm also going to be starting a weekly parents group. That is going to be on Discord. So if you click on the link on Discord and you're a parent and you want a little bit of support, a little bit of help, your life is crazy, you want to try to bring it in balance, I'm working on a book called The Utopia Guide to Raising Kind and Responsible Kids. And we'll be going through a lot of those exercises. We'll be doing breakout groups. You can connect with that parents group on Discord up in the link tree. All right, let's do the light 5D ascension meditation. All right, I'm just relaxing. I'm finding my diaphragm. Just relax. Well, can't do that. All right. I want you to imagine that you are above the clouds. Close your eyes. Imagine that you're above the clouds, like you're in an airplane. You look down, you see the top of the clouds, blue sky all around you in every direction, big bright sun over your head. That's light. That's source. We're going to keep ascending, and the next stop is we're going to go into that light. But I do want to let you know that underneath that cloud, that's the beginning of the third dimension. That cloud represents mind. Everything under mind is three-dimensional. We live in a mental universe. So our three-dimensional universe is mind. That's the clouds. But we're above the clouds. We're above mind. We're above time. We have complete freedom, no restrictions, no obstructions in any direction. We're on the fourth dimension. But now we're going to start to move that light closer to us, or ascend closer to that light. And I want you to just imagine, just relax, and I want you to imagine you're getting closer and closer to that light. And when you eventually get within that orbit of the light and it starts to actually touch you, I want you to allow that light to descend into your physical body. I want that light to fill all the spaces, go into every cell, touch every aspect of your physical being. I want you to feel like you're bathing in that light. It's beautiful, soft, it surrounds you now. You're fully surrounded by the light. This is your true nature. You are a being of light. Now I want you to imagine that you've been wearing a three-dimensional mask. I want you to take that mask off and see how the light emanates from you. How all these roles you've been playing, all this heavy stuff in the three-dimensional world has been blocking the light. Take that mask off and let the light emanate. And now I want you to take this three-dimensional shell, this heavy shell that you've been wearing around yourself. Just take that shell off, throw it away, and let the light out. Let it radiate. You are now the light. You're not connecting to the light. You are the light. You are all the light. Just let it flow. Now I want you to imagine a web of light that surrounds the earth, like around the earth's atmosphere. Points of light, a web of light. You, I, all of us, each one of us is a point of light in this interconnected web of light that surrounds the earth. Fifth dimensional ascension is not for yourself. It's not for your own personal gain. It is to add to the collective light. So as your light grows, as you do the inner work to be able to cultivate energy and light in your body, as you raise the vibration of your cells, as you start to be able to anchor more light, your specific point of light gets brighter. And I want you to notice that as your light gets brighter, the whole web gets stronger. And your light, the stronger this web is, the easier it is for all the next people to ascend. It just becomes easier for everyone else to ascend because there's a really strong web of light. So close to 200 people here. I want you to feel the energy, the light vibration coming from all the people who are here now on this live. I want you to literally feel that vibration. You're all part of the same web. Beyond that, I want you to feel the light of the millions of people around the earth who are ascending, all adding, strengthening, interconnecting that web of light. I want you to feel the electromagnetic waves that are coming through and from the earth, constantly pouring out. Those are for us. Soak those in, absorb those waves, absorb all that ascension energy. Feel the solar rays that are bathing the earth with ascension energy and absorb that ascension energy. Anchor that ascension wisdom into your body. Anchor more and more and more light into your cells, into your DNA, into your chakra system. Open yourself up to light. There are no obstructions to the fifth dimension. You don't have to go study for 20 years. You don't have to go live on a mountain. You don't have to take a vow of silence for the next 10 years. You don't have to fast for 40 days. It's available to you right now. There are no obstructions to fifth dimensional ascension because you already are a being of light. You've just been told differently your whole life. You've been lied to. You've been kept down. You've been kept in the dark. You've been kept in a box. First your family, then your school, then your government, then the news. Everybody keeps you in your religion. It keeps you in a box of dark consciousness. There are no boxes. There are no obstructions to your ascension. None. No obstructions. The only thing that pulls you down, there are three things you need to have this ascended light experience. Number one, you have to work to bring all aspects of your life into balance. Number two, you've got to learn to be more heart-centered. And number three, most important, you have to surrender the idea that you're doing this for yourself and simply surrender to unity consciousness. We're not doing this for you or me. We're doing it to help the planet ascend. All of this ascension energy is coming to the earth. The earth itself is ascending. But here's the secret. We don't live on the earth. We are the earth. All of this ascension energy is for us. All of these solar rays are for us. All of this light is for us. Your consciousness is now expanding, and the more it expands, the faster it will expand over time. Deeper and deeper and deeper into light consciousness. Feel the light, literally feel your cells vibrating. Feel how everything becomes light within you. This is your true nature. Feel it. Feel everyone else on this call and feel that common vibration. Feel their strength and their vibration. And know this, every kind act, every act of generosity, every time you deep breathe, every time you say something nice to somebody, every positive act, not only you, but everyone on this earth, all adds to the web of light. You don't see it. We don't see how we add to it because we just don't see it with our eyes. But I want you to feel it and know that it is true. You are a being of light. And every positive you think adds light to you, which adds light to the web of light, to the collective. This is it. Everything you're doing is not for you. It's for the earth. We're not ascending to fifth dimension ourselves. We're ascending as humanity is ascending. As the earth is ascending, we are ascending. There's no such thing as one person ascending to the fifth dimension. There's nobody else there. It's just you. So what? Good for you. It's like the ancient enlightened people. They go live up on a mountain for 20 years. Good for you up there. Can you help us down here? We'd love some help. What did you learn up there? Oh, I can't, because they can't come back. They can't talk to people in the third dimension because it gets them agitated. We don't have the luxury of living on a mountain or going to live in a monastery for 20 years or taking a vow of silence for 10 years. We have to learn to express the light in the life that we have now. And the life that you have now is enough. It's everything you need. You chose this incarnation. You chose this platform, and it is, believe me, enough to now express your light. You don't need any other material things. You don't need anything from anybody. You don't have to wait for somebody. You don't have to wait for someone to explain it to you or show you the way. You are light, and all you have to do is just start to release everything that doesn't work for you and ascend and recognize that there's millions of other people up there who are drawing you up. And every kind, positive, generous, optimistic thing you do brightens your light, which brightens the whole web. And the stronger this web is, the more people can ascend. It just becomes easier for everyone to ascend. We have to prime the pump so that we can get more and more people ascending. Thank you all. Thank you for all of this. Appreciate it. All right. Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to give myself a voice break. Not sure I'll probably will be back tomorrow. I'm kind of addicted to this. All right. We'll be back for more. Those of you that want to go deeper or that want to actually talk about being part of a collective where we actually have an agenda and we actually can start to teach more people, hit me up on the link, my Discord group our Discord community that we created. Just jump in, say hello, introduce yourself, and say what you're interested in, and we'll get together. We'll figure out how to organize there, and we'll make all this happen. So thank you all. Everyone have a blessed night. Love you all. All right. Everyone have a great night. Thank you all. Thank you so much for the likes, the gifts, all the shares, 59 shares. I love it. I feel the energy. It really, really is beautiful. Thank you all so, so much. Thank you all. I hope this was a great experience for you, and I'll see you on my next live. Everyone take care.